Welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the Hideaway Disc Golf Course in Terrell, Texas. This is the green for hole 8 long. It's not in there today, but that's what you're dealing with.
Then they'll bring the marksman out and they'll have a few other locations.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, beautiful property. 18 holes, par 64 for the long, 8,540 feet. This is hole 1. And that's hole 13's tee pad, 12's basket, hole 10's tee pad, thrown over the water. And that's where the Hideaway Grill restaurant is. Great place to grab a bite after the round. Starting off hole 1, par 3, 467 feet. You do have a fence line on the right, but it's not a property line, so yeah, a little gluey today. We got an early start after a rainy night. Probably should have waited another hour or so, let it dry up just a little bit. There wasn't any standing water on the course, but some sticky mud. Yeah, so that was a Enigma with the custom pitter-patter stamp on it out of Justin. A little flippy for that headwind, but
that's not a property line.
we didn't warm up, so who knows how juiced the arm is. So that's where the basket is, just over my finger there. And there's obviously a lot of trees guarding the straight line at it from the left side of the fairway. And the hyzer line is kind of guarded too, that we learned right after this throw. So that was Justin's 2-on-1 position. This was my longhorn that I threw to start, and I'm going thumber over the top with a Lucidex Glimmer Felon. Put it about pin high, about 20 feet out to the left. So Justin made his putt there for a 3. And I'm just off screen to the left. Always good to make the first putt. Knocking some mud off my Felon. So, hole 2, par 4, 627 feet. You can see on the map there's lots of cedars on either side. There's a couple of landing zones to work with. I'm using my Bushnell to pick a couple of trees in the fairway and kind of gauge how far down the fairway they are. So there's the basket and the short tee pad. And here's where we are with the long. So you may have noticed the intro page that Hideaway Disc Golf Course, but my screenshots of the fairways and the distances say Circle's Edge. This name change happened pretty quickly. It's Wednesday night right now, and we played on Sunday, so I'm honestly not sure what the name of this course will be going forward, but this is the newer champion level course out in Terrell, Texas. So neither of us are really on the fairway. There's the fairway, and there's my disc. Kind of hyzered out a little early and pinched myself off. And that cedar that I'm zooming under is kind of the gap, which I got gobbled up in. It sucked my disc right into that Velcro tree. I spared you from having to watch it. I'm going to go forehand roller with a zone here. It's kind of early and chilly, so I wasn't feeling a forehand yet. And I put way too much cut on it. Luckily, there was a window over there, and I was able to scramble for a bogey. Justin took a triple bogey. That hole was rough. It was a bit of a headwind again, just like hole 1. So hole 3, par 3, 311 feet. Got a brief nature appreciation moment here. There were some, I guess the neighbors' horses keep sneaking into their land, so someone was walking them all off and the donkey was in tow. So Justin's going with his new Castoplast stall here. He's liking it because all of his FD3s are a little beat in, so he wanted that consistent finish again, so he kind of found it there. And I'm going left-hand backhand. It's a little tighter of a turn than the backhand turnover can sustain with this low ceiling, and I just threw it too high. But now I'm looking right down this tunnel at the basket. I'm going new Vanessa Van Dyke in 2021 Tour Series Meteor. I left my 2020 Z Swirl Tour Series Meteor at Dino Hills somewhere. I just walked away from it. I didn't realize that until I was building my bag for this round. Pretty crushed. Hit that tree. Going profit upshot. Gets it pin high, just a little bit out to the right. And that's where Justin's forehand ended up. It was a great shot. He managed to get a 3, and I did not make my putt, so I ended up with a 4. Hole 4, par 3, 296 feet. Straight uphill, tight tunnel. I think Justin's going Origin here. It's Neo Origin, not his Meta Origin. He hasn't thrown that yet today, but he does have one of those in his bag. Made it a decent ways, hit a tree. I'm going MD3. I'm going to try and hammer on it flat and get it to flex a little, flip a little, and work its way back since I'm having to throw it uphill. Should be the right amount of stability. And my footwork is off. I had no choice but to throw it directly into that tree. That's where they aimed.
A little stolly flex shot.
Decent execution out of Justin there, just a little low. Both end up getting a bogey. Hole 5, par 3, 262 feet in the long. It's kind of the opposite of hole 3, a low ceiling, right to left dogleg. That was Bobcat out of Justin. Did the same thing I did on the last tee. I'm going to throw my new Z Flick. Trying to beat this thing in. And it's perfect. I listened for it. I didn't know where the basket was, but I was very pleased with hitting the initial gap and working left down the fairway. Put it middle of circle 2. Having to step out. There's a lot of cool greens on this course that have flat surfaces to play on and land on, and little drop-offs. Didn't get my legs into that one. But yeah, lots of cool elevation to play with. I get it with 3 there, 5 for Justin. And that green was one of the shallower drop-offs. Hole 6, par 4, 617 feet. It's about 300 feet to get out into the open. So I'm going Neo Instinct here. Hammer on it, get it to turn. It was a little low, but it got a forward skip, which was nice. So I'm out in the field. Justin's going Origin. Playing my own game against me. He's disking down and working some lines.
What was that?
Cool to see that part of his game building up. He didn't quite make it into the field, but
Look up.
got a little flex shot to get out there. And this is where my tee shot ended up. Justin ended up kind of close to that.
Have you thrown yours yet?
Troublesome looking tree on the right. I'm going to throw my new Nate Perkins Zen here. First throw with it. Threw it with hyzer, flipped up to flat, but it was 2 nose up. It didn't want to turn over towards the basket at all. Ended up hyzering out early. Got me about pin high, but there's a couple of like trees with some ninja branches in my way, so I'm having to go up and over with a right to left wind here. I don't swing it wide enough, so I get too much glide. Gotta make this putt for the par. About 25 feet out. Ugh, thought I had it. So, another bogey for me. My goal today is to shoot no more than 9 bigs. So going into hole 7 here, the horseshoe hole, par 4, 454 feet. Take an opportunity to scrape some mud off my shoes on this tee pad. Most of the tee pads here have the dirt built up all the way to the edge of the concrete. I'm throwing Z-Sole here. And honestly, I missed the gap. I cut it a little inside. And I'm listening, and it flew for a long time. I'm excited to see where that ended up at this point. Justin's going back to that new Castoplast stall forehand. I was liking that a lot.
You all right? Good throw.
So there's the tee
Medium
pad.
tee,
Justin
long
luckily
tee.
saved himself. He got his foot back under his butt.
Short
There's the
tee.
short tee pad. That's the corner, a couple of trees you're trying to beat. And there's the fairway. And the green's back there. Can't quite see the basket. This is where I ended up. Made it past the apex of the corner. Pleased to see I'm not too far in the woods to the left, but I am slightly off of the open fairway here. I'm going Crystal Fierce. And I make the putt for a birdie. Finally stopped the bleeding. Got a stroke back from the course. Very excited. Hole 8, par 5, 543 feet. This is definitely a soft par 5. One of these telephone poles. Actually, the first telephone pole that's on the screen. I'm throwing Big Z Zeus here. 2 nose up, but I did get it to flex a little bit. But that first telephone pole that you can see on the screen is painted at 330. This is the alt hole 8. There's another hole 8 in the woods that plays to a different basket. So yeah, I didn't even get my Zeus 330 feet, but the basket's in that cutaway. I throw my Bobcat, and I don't push the gap tight enough. I make the corner, but it's in that rough on the left side of the gap. End up sneaking away with a birdie, though. So I'm back down to +2. I'm very stoked with that. Getting ready to go into the back 9. Hole 9, though, par 4, 533 feet. This one could be a par 5. This is a difficult hole. You could probably barely drive a bus down this fairway, and it is long. Going aggressive. I'm going zen again. Threw it flat, but I barely threw it. I don't know what happened. I was timid on that one, and it didn't flip. It didn't turn. I pretty much did that. So I'm off the fairway, trying to figure out what to do. I'm right behind one of the biggest trees on the left side of the fairway. Can't decide whether to go lefty forehand, righty forehand. Yep, I'm very frustrated. I'm going to try and flex the Razor Claw 2 and just float it around this forked tree that's right side of the screen, and I drill it. So I'm off the fairway again. A little more options here, just got to get my footing just right. flex, get something to work down the fairway. Not quite far enough though, I'm just short of the gap, so I'm having to go forehand roller with that zone again. Not putting as much cut on it. It's working down there nicely, and I get lucky. But then from there, I accidentally overthrow the basket and kind of just have to pitch out. Very rough. So onto the back nine, hole 10, par 3, 406 feet. It's about 320 feet to clear. About 320 feet to clear. The trees are about 350. And we have a tailwind, so not an intimidating hole. You just got to give it some height so the wind doesn't push it down. Justin gets a nice little turn on his escape. And this wind stables it up just a little bit too much. So I'm going, I've got a flippy factory second R Pro Wraith that I picked up in South Carolina a few weeks ago. Give it some height, give it some turn. And I'm just outside the circle. So this is the short tee. You can see the basket through that little window there. And you can just throw it over the top. So yeah, go through a little cycle here trying to figure out what shot to do up onto the green, but I wanted to show you guys the longs. I don't think anyone had done that yet, but honestly, if you're not 930 rated or so, play the shorts. Or if you just like, being ridiculously challenged. Because, yeah, this is a very, very challenging layout, especially new. It's not beat in yet. But, yeah, hole 11, par 4, 781 feet. I think maybe this is the short tee pad. I didn't see another tee pad. So, honestly, this hole kind of confused me because 780 feet is not how far away the basket is. So, this might actually be 11 short, but I didn't see another tee pad. But anyways, this course, it's new, it's freshly cut. As more and more people play it, it'll get more and more beat in. Yeah, I'm about 200 feet away from the basket here. I lasered this shot. I didn't laser back to the pin, but I know I didn't throw 500 feet. I did get a nice full flight of that Zeus, but I know I didn't throw it 500 feet. And through the mutant, way too high. It glided out down into the rough there. So see what I'm talking about? There's a flat green, but then it drops off around the green. You have a little more room to work with on the green, but being off like I am is more punishing on this one. I was trying to throw this one in. I did hit the pole though, so can't be too mad about that after my upshot being as errant as it was. Hole 12, par 3, 373 feet. You're throwing uphill. Basket's through that little window there. I'm throwing my instinct, and I'm just trying to put it right in that window. A little turn, a little skip, and curl up. Could have been a little further, but that is exactly what I wanted to do.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Justin hyzered towards the rough and got like a neat little bounce. So this is where my tee shot ended up. I would like to be about a little closer to where Justin's upshot landed, but that's all right. Again, I just didn't really get my legs into that. A little tap in for 3 here. Oof. Hole 13, par 3, 396 feet, going downhill towards 12's basket. When you're on 12's basket, you can see this tee pad, and you can see the danger behind the green. So I'm throwing my Eternal Longhorn hard into this headwind, get a little bit of turn out of it. It's hoping to get like a flare skip back towards the basket, but didn't really happen. Justin's a little too nose up.
Oh, you're on flat.
Stalls out. And he puts his upshot a little too far and it skips off of the backside of the green down into the shoal. So I'm taking a knee with my jawbreaker zone. Just trying to put something close. Land it short and scoot up. Perfect. Yeah, I'm very pleased to play that one, not let the course beat me on that hole. So I'm approaching my goal here. Hole 14, par 3, 368 feet. See, I'm only 6 over so far. So yeah, that's that clay. This is actually a good shot. My wheel is actually spinning. It's not locked up. Again, we just probably started a little too early for how much it had rained the day before. The wind's starting to pick up into the afternoon now, which is drawing things off. Throwing onyx. Should have thrown something a little more stable. It's kind of a tight green you're thrown into, so I was trying to put something with a little more control. And I'm going to pay for that mistake. So yeah, that's the tee.
Coming into the landing zone.
Here's kind of your landing zone.
Mud off his shoes.
And then the green is back there.
And the basket is hiding behind that stuff.
There it is. So yeah, lots of cedars protecting.
Low ground space.
Low ceiling. Not a lot of ground play today on the skip, so having to flirt with the backside of that green a little more. So I took a double bogey. I'm now an 8 big. I'm only 1 stroke away from not making my goal with 4 holes to play. Hole 15, par 4, 575 feet. This hole is all about placement, probably more than any other hole on the course so far. I'm going Bobcat here and just trying to put it, 250, 280 feet, and then get a little forward flare skip. I put it a little too low. This is where my forehand with the Meta Instinct ended, or Meta Origin ended up. Throwing a bullet here. Just trying to make that corner to give me a look to attack the basket. I almost threw in my new Berg. There's Justin's upshot, I think. Yeah, I almost threw in my new Berg from here. Forgot to record that shot somehow. But got out of here with a 1, 2, 3, 4. Got out of here with a 5 or a 6.
15. What a monster of a hole, especially late in the round. That's a tough get. You gotta be in position off the tee. You gotta be in position after your second shot.
Hole 16, par 3, 316 feet. A fun little hole, especially after that beast of a hole that we just played. Justin's going with that stall again, forehand, just trying to make the corner. And I'm not going to try and flare skip. I'm just going to try and put that bullet I just threw just to the corner, turn it a little bit. Got a little too aggressive. So that's the long tee pad back there. The short one's back there. I'm standing right at the apex of the corner. There's Justin's third, putting it onto the green. Forgot to screenshot the scores, but hole 17, par 4, 485 feet. This might be one of my favorite holes on the course. Good second kick there. Yeah, I keep commenting on the greens and the shape of them and the elevation of them. This fairway has that same kind of treatment at multiple distances. So yeah, this is where my second shot landed. I'm having to play up around where Justin is. Oh, there's that shot into the green. Yeah, lots of minimal but tricky elevations and landing zones to play with. So I believe I'm putting for bogey here. And here's 18.
Great. You see the kind of cut up cypress on there.
Mm-hmm.
The left, that's where it's taking a right, and it'll go.
See, another
straight
tight
out
fairway
the
with some
field and
placement.
further out of the-
So yeah, I got a, okay, so that putt was for par. Got a bogey on 17, not too bad. Plus 11, but that's all right. Hole 18, par 4, 730 feet. Another hole that you really need to know where your disc turns or where your disc flips and your distances. I'm going to throw in that Zen again, give it another shot for the third time. And I overcommitted to it this time. Luckily, I tickled those branches and dropped right in the fairway, but very short. Might not even be to the short tee, honestly. Meteor overturned it a little bit, rolled out into the rough. Dang it, dang it, dang it.
If you're lefty, you could probably do it.
So we're looking out of the gap into the field, and there's the basket out there. That tree on the right's about pin high.
Yay!
And Justin was a trooper, man. I said I wanted to go check this place out. Oh, I'm throwing alpha here. 4th run Apex Alpha. Thought I skipped it past and ended up being pin high. But yeah, this is his 4th round in 3 days. He was just up in Tulsa playing a bunch of big courses, so he was a trooper. So yeah, that's Circle's Edge or Hideaway. I don't know what it's going to be called. Here's a look inside the restaurant / pro shop. They got drinks, they got a grill, got a little pro shop with some discs. Innova, Prodigy, Discraft, MVP, Axiom, Mint, Infinite, Discmania. They got all the good stuff. Definitely head on out there, check it out. It's $8 to play. It's well worth it. Super fun course. And here's another look at this sweet property that they've utilized for a great disc golf course. Go support them, check it out. See you out there.